Stories are something which connects with the self inside and that reflects out. And when leaders talk about stories, they actually transpire, they emote beautifully, they connect with the individual. They could be reprimanding, but they connect in a manner that encourages the other person to start thinking differently. Heart is where the emotions are.
Yes.
Heart is what basically gives us that kick to move on to, while the head is our logical piece. When you merge these two, it becomes even more powerful. So the heart is largely the creative, the logical, the emotional part of it. When you have an emotion, the purpose becomes even stronger and powerful.
According to how storytelling is relevant for corporate leaders or corporate executives?
I think it's highly relevant, and not because I'm a storyteller per se, but having seen the corporate world for close to now 20 plus years and being in that system and being in the people practice side of it, I've seen powerful leaders and I've seen leaders who are so-so, and I've seen leaders who are in between. Um, People who are powerful leaders are the ones who tell beautiful stories. Stories are not for deceiving because that's caught by others very quickly. Stories are something which connects with the self inside and that reflects out. And when leaders talk about stories, they actually transpire, they emote beautifully, they connect with the individual. They could be reprimanding, but they connect in a manner that encourages the other person to start thinking differently. And it becomes a holistic package. Like it or not, we all say we love to have passionate goals, we want to have targets and all that. Now, these can only get translated when people connect with the higher purpose of it, as well as what drives them. And what drives them comes to the emotion. So when leaders talk about stories of why is a certain thing required, so like the Simon Sinek says, the why part of it, the why is where the story is. Now, when that story is reeled out, uh, it creates magic. It creates that camaraderie to connect with. And when there is truth in that, when there is a purpose in that story, it goes beyond. And I personally keep telling people is that leaders should be telling stories, and that these stories will really make a difference to what happens around them.
I heard recently a corporate leader saying, set goals from the heart. We tend to set even the goals from the head, right? I thought that was so powerful. What do you think, why people see this as a difference between head and heart when it comes to storytelling?
I personally believe both are kind of related, but I think the reason why they talk about head and heart is heart is where the emotions are. Heart is what basically gives us that kick to move on to, while the head is our logical piece. While I talk about when I do the corporate storytelling piece, I do talk about the left brain and the right brain. I go back to a little classical way of looking at it. Of course, today the brain scientists talk in a different manner.
Very true.
But while the left is logical, the right is more creative part that we talk about generally. When you merge these two, it becomes even more powerful. So the heart is largely the creative, the logical, the emotional part of it. When you have an emotion, the purpose becomes even stronger and powerful. While we know that, okay, I have to achieve, one of the things that we were talking about earlier in my coaching journey with you, we spoke about weight loss, right? Well, that's like an aspiration. That's the logical mind says, I have to reduce. I am 82 or 83. I need to bring down to 75. That's an aspirational goal. That's a very logical way. Why should I do it? Because yes, it has health benefits. It's a blah, blah, blah. I can list down things. Unless my heart is into it, I will never be able to translate that. The purpose of is that, can I be able to run along with my son in the morning for at least 3-4 kilometers together, just to enjoy his company? And that's the passion that I hold on to. That's the heart is involved, because that's the binding that I bring in. So very aptly said, when there is a heart into a goal, it becomes even more powerful.